Hi everyone, and welcome to VPS Hosting 101 here at NameHero.com. This is my latest course, and we're going to cover everything from getting a VPS or what a VPS is, to getting your own VPS, to building it out, and to how to use it efficiently and effectively. I feel like a lot of our customers that come in for a VPS or virtual private server, they kind of come in knowing what they're looking for, but I also feel like some of our customers know they need one, but they're not quite sure how to set it up and how to configure it. And we get a lot of questions that, sometimes we're different than other providers, and especially how they're set up. So the purpose of this course is to teach you how to order your VPS and how to set it up correctly so you make the most out of your VPS hosting experience. The majority of our customers that do come in for a VPS are going to be our seasoned internet veterans or webmasters or small business owners that need a lot of horsepower, so to speak. So here's what I'm going to be covering in this course. And what I'll do is I'm going to go through each one of these individually, but we're going to talk about what they are. Let's just go to the next slide here and talk about the definition or what VPS is. So we're going to talk about the VPS definition, which stands for virtual private server. So it's your own server, whereas our shared hosting packages and our reseller hosting packages, you're sharing a server with other websites. And even though it's on our cloud, you're still actually sharing that node. Now with the VPS, it's your very own server, it's your very own node. You have full root access, meaning you can change up stuff on the operating system level. You're the only customer utilizing that RAM in the machine. You're the only customer that's utilizing that disk space. So it's just, that's what a VPS is. And the benefits of it are, it's a lot more juice, so to speak, or a lot more control. So we see a lot of customers that come in that are maybe developing an application, PHP developers, just for basic web developers, and they need to customize stuff at an operating source level. We have a lot of customers that want to run Ruby on Rails, and they want to have just their own configurations and that we can't mess with on the shared and reseller accounts. I'm going to display how it works. At NameHero, our VPS platform is a little bit unique and different because we're built on top of our high-speed cloud. So this gives us flexibility because when you order a VPS, it automatically provisions in our cloud. Now that's awesome because if you need to scale up, you can do that with the click of a mouse. If you need more space, more RAM, more resources, you just click and scale up. Same thing if you need to scale down, you can do that. It's a little bit more complicated to go down instead of going up, but I will definitely discuss how that works and how the VPS works all together. I've already hit on this, but the average VPS customer is someone who's most of the time is a seasoned internet veteran. For example, when I used to run my affiliate marketing discussion forum, I Am Grind, we had a VPS. We didn't want to be on a shared server. I mean, most of the time when you're running forum software, that's not a good idea in the first place. We needed resources, we needed root access, so that's why we used a VPS. I used to own a very popular professional wrestling website that used WordPress. Of course, it had a VPS as well because it needed a lot of resources because of the amount of traffic that we got. So if your website gets a lot of traffic or you just need the root access, that's a VPS is for you. In each section, I'm going to do a moving forward, which just kind of summarizes everything, kind of outlines the next steps in your journey with your VPS. And we're going to talk about how to deploy and configure your VPS. Everything from registering your account with us at NameHero and deploying the server to the initial configuration. Now, our team, of course, is standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to help you with this initial configuration. I mean, it's not that challenging, but there's a couple things you have to configure once you place your order, once you get your VPS. You have to set up your private name servers because when you're on a VPS, you're using your own DNS. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. Now, securing your VPS, we've already made sure that they're secure, but there's a couple tweaks that you can do on your end as well that needs to be accomplished. So I'm going to go through what those are and how to implement those. They're super quick and easy, and of course our team is standing by if you'd just rather us do that for you. But I do feel like it's important to educate our customers on how to do this so they know for their own usage. Then I'm also going to talk about how to add your websites. Once you get your account, your VPS online, well, how do you add a website and get a website live on it? So I'll show you how to do that. And of course, I'll do the moving forward with that as well. Customizing and performance tuning, as stated, this is probably the most popular feature of VPS, is you're able to customize it to your own needs. So our VPSs come standard with Apache web server. If you want to add Lightspeed or if you want to add Nginx, those are additional options and you can do that. And you do that for performance optimizations. I'm going to show you how to configure the databases. Maria database is the standard now. So that's really replaced MySQL. Most of you are most familiar with MySQL, but Maria is the same thing. It's a drop-in replacement to MySQL, but it's optimized for performance. So you're not going to have to change up any of your scripts that run off MySQL. It's just going to run better. So I'm going to teach you and tell you about that. I'll talk about using Cloudflare. Cloudflare provides VPS modules or modules for your VPS. So I'm going to talk about how to get that installed and use that. I'm going to talk about shared and dedicated IP addresses, because once you have your VPS, you have the ability to share your IP with your sites or to get a dedicated IP for your sites. So we'll talk about that. SSL certificates is another big thing. At NameHero, we pride ourselves on our relationship with Let's Encrypt to have free and unlimited SSL certificates for all your websites. So I'll show you how to get your integration with Let's Encrypt. And also I'll show you how to install a paid certificate if you have one of those. And then I'm going to highlight on optimization. Optimization is something I can do a course on in itself. So I'm just going to talk about some optimization things and kind of just scratch the surface there. I don't want to go into too big of detail, because ultimately the optimization depends on your application or what exactly that you're hosting on your VPS. So again, I could spend 6 hours easily just on optimization, but it depends. Are you running WordPress? Are you running websites? Are you running applications? Are you using databases? So we'll talk about optimization and I'll kind of point you in the right direction, so to speak, with that. Then of course we'll do our moving forward. We're going to talk about reseller hosting with a VPS. You're probably familiar, especially if you're watching this, with my Resell Hosting 101 course. And we talk about using VPSs a little bit in that. But we're going to talk about specifically, if you want to become a web host or you are a web host, how to use your VPS for reselling hosting. We're going to talk about the Cloud Linux web hosting operating system. It kind of goes on top of CentOS and helps you allocate the resources of your VPS for your customers. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about master reseller hosting packages. So if you want to offer reseller hosting for your company, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to talk about Web Host Manager. Many of you are already familiar with that, especially if you've been using our reseller hosting package. You already know about Web Host Manager. We're going to talk about that anyways. And then we're going to talk about integrating it with WHMCS, the Web Hosting Automation and Billing King software. So we'll talk about how to add that. And then, of course, we will do our moving forward. We're also going to get into backing up and scaling your VPS. So when you deploy your VPS, there's an option for off-server backups. I recommend that, and I'll show you how to do it and kind of how that works. And then we're going to talk about the on-server backups that you actually conduct on the server that are easy to restore. We're going to talk about how to scale your server up. Like I said at the beginning of this video, these are built on top of our private cloud. So if you need to scale up, you can do it with a click of a mouse. Then, of course, we will do our moving forward. And finally, we will sum everything up in our moving forward, talking about how to add additional VPSs, because we see this, especially those that are big resellers or customers that need extensive resources. They need multiple VPSs. We'll also talk about moving to dedicated and kind of how that works nowadays with the cloud, dedicated servers and VPSs. So that's probably something else that I can do an entire course on and will, but I do want to talk about kind of the transition from VPS to dedicated in the cloud and how that works. And then I'm going to give my final thoughts with VPS hosting and who it's for and how to go about it and how to go about it for your customers. So the purpose of this course is to give you an overview of VPS hosting and how to do it, how to use it, what it is, who it's best used for, this way that you're educated and you don't come in to order a VPS with this and not have a good idea and a good understanding how to manage all this hosting in your infrastructure. So I really believe this course will help you out a lot, especially even if you are an existing VPS customer. I highly recommend you take it because you'll probably pick up some stuff that you didn't know. Being at the CEO level here of NameHero, I see a lot of stuff every day, and so I present these courses based on information I learned from our customers. So if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. This is the course preview. If you're watching this on YouTube, I invite you to go to namehero.com/startup, and you'll see links on there to our training training section where you can get to the course enrollment page. But thanks a bunch for watching, everyone. I look forward to teaching you VPS Hosting 101.